I would like to say a big thank you to most of my regular subscribers and viewers. Yesterday's video, the vast majority knew what was going on. There is an unfortunate reality on YouTube for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, that channel operators have to deal with. Over time, trolls build up on your channel unseen. I mean, for whatever reason, something you're talking about they don't like. What they do is they go to your videos and they watch and they just click the down thumb and then they go down thumb comments, but they don't ever really comment themselves because they're afraid of being blocked. Well, you have to put out some kind of content that you know they're just not going to be able to help themselves. And that worked like a charm yesterday. A huge portion of them came out and finally commented and spewed all of their nonsense, revealing who they were in the comment section so I could then report them to Google and have them blocked and deleted and banned from the channel. It's just almost like getting a cold, almost like that, where you know you're starting to feel something, but you're just not sure. You just have to do this once in a while as a channel operator. So anyway, once again, thank you very, very much to my normal viewers. They knew what was going on and they hang in there as they always do. I've said before, I'll say again, I have the best, most intelligent, most engaged audience on YouTube, bar none. Now, on another topic, I know this is going to sound kind of strange, but I want to talk about today an old piece of science fiction that was put out a long time ago. In the Star Trek series, they had a fictional planet named Risa. I'm sure those of you who have watched know what I'm talking about. It was their version of a vacation planet where they would go for shore leave. Now, there was one episode that occurred with this planet in an offshoot of the regular Star Trek called Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where two couples and one single guy, for lack of a better term, were on a vacation, and the entire episode centered around their activities on the planet Risa. And I have that here on the right. It's just some fan fiction art of what it might have looked like. Now, Risa was one of those places that people went to do what people do when they need to blow off some steam, and I'll leave it there and let you guys figure that out with your imagination. There was this couple here, Chase Masterson and Alexander Siddig were the actors and actress respectively. This is Armin Shimmerman playing the character Quark, and they went with Terry Farrell and Michael Dorn, of course, Dax and Worf. Now, what this particular episode dealt with was a group of people that didn't like the idea of Risa. They didn't like the idea of the hedonistic nature of the planet. I mean, it was a place where adults went to do what adults do. You see, they didn't like the idea of other people enjoying themselves. And that's why I have Florida up on the left, because there's that seething resentment coming out now from those up east, Washington, New York. They like to attack Florida, attack our governor, attack our way of life in this very holier-than-thou way. I've, of course, used the pictures of girls at the beaches in bikinis here, and I can confirm that. Even among people that say they support Florida or support Governor DeSantis or the last administration or any of that, every time, they have a chance to attack based on this, they do. This idea of just leave me alone and I'll leave you alone, that's bunk. That's absolute bunk. As a channel operator who's been putting up videos for 4 years, almost every day, I can guarantee you that group of people will never leave you alone. They will never just say, you know, I'm against the vaccination, but I'm not against anyone else getting it. Oh no, absolutely not. I don't want to wear a mask, but I'm not against anyone else wearing it. No, absolutely not. Every chance they can, they will find a way to attack you. And there was this group on Risa that showed up in this episode doing this exact thing. They had what they called a weather modification net on Risa that made it nice all the time. They were able to kind of control a little bit, where the rain fell, when it fell, so that people had nice sunny days at the beach that they could enjoy. Well, you see, they were totally against this. They weren't from here. They didn't have to come here. They didn't live here. But they would come, and in this particular episode, and they decided to take down that weather modification net so that no one could enjoy their time on Risa. Funny story in the episode, and this shows you how smart they were in Deep Space Nine. One of the hosts, or hostesses, I guess I should say properly, on Risa was the actress Vanessa Williams. Now, those of you who know her story and what happened to her, this was a very subtle, sly move, because she literally embodied that entire attitude. There was some people that shouldn't have been casting stones, so to speak, living in glass houses, that attempted to do this to Vanessa Williams in her real-life career, and she turned out to rise above, become a singer and a writer and a composer, and I'm sure many of you know who Vanessa Williams is. Now, what does this have to do with real life? Well, let's review some actions just since the new administration took power. 4 governors order National Guard troops out of D.C. One of those was Florida. Governor DeSantis, Florida inmates won't get COVID-19 vaccines before seniors. Didn't we hear a story out of Guantanamo Bay where they were talking about wanting to vaccinate the 9/11 terrorists before everyone in this country got it? And most recently, Florida Governor DeSantis to penalize big tech companies for unlawful practices. February 2, 2021, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced the consequences that big tech companies like Facebook, Twitter, and Google will face if they violate the privacy of Floridians and interfere with citizens' access to candidates during an election. The Republican governor criticized the manipulation of news and censorship of certain individuals while detailing the new legislation's harsh penalties during a press conference from the Florida Capitol on Tuesday. Floridians should have the privacy of their data and personal information protected, their ability to access and participate in online platforms protected, and their ability to participate in elections free from interference from big tech protected, said DeSantis. That was a quote. He said that over the years, quote, these platforms have changed from neutral platforms that provided Americans with the freedom to speak to enforcers of preferred narratives. Consequently, these platforms have played an increasingly decisive role in elections and have negatively impacted Americans who dissent from orthodoxies favored by the big tech cartel. Alluding to moderating news, I'm sure a lot of you know what we're talking about here. Proper local governance matters. You see, there are people that are coming after Florida for a lot of different reasons, all of which are emotional. All of which are emotionally driven. Some of them are upset about what happened in the last election, how the current president got thumped in Florida in our state election. Some were actually shocked by that. Same thing in Texas, same thing in Ohio. North Carolina was a little closer. And so they are trying to, of course, stifle dissent and attack those who they don't agree with. But they forgot something. They forgot something. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. Florida State Rep calls on Governor DeSantis to divest from big tech over censorship. That means no ads. That means Florida divesting itself of Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet. People in this country forget. Unless you live here, you would know this. Florida is a tourist destination internationally. There is a lot of wealth that comes into the United States through tourism in Florida. Many people have said, well, wait, Florida's a net negative on the financial board with DC. That's not true. What DC is talking about is military incomes and Social Security incomes. Those are incomes they'd have to pay regardless of where those military members were or those on Social Security lived. See, they're saying Florida sends X amount of money to the federal government, and the federal government says X amount of money back to Florida, and they take those two numbers and they decide whether Florida's, net on the take or net give. They're counting Social Security and military incomes in that. And that shouldn't count because DC would have to count that regardless of where those people were. We are a huge driver, Florida, huge driver of tax revenue. 22 million people, third most populous in the entire country. Trying to catch up to Texas, 22, they have 31, and California is a basket case. Right now, Florida is driving more revenue to the federal government than California is because of their extended, long shutdowns. And you can debate whether that's a good idea, bad idea, or whatever. But this is the reality. It's not North American money going to DC. It's international. We have people here from South America, people here from Eastern Europe, people here from Asia, Australia, all over the world they come here. Orlando alone, and this is what a lot of people really can't wrap their mind around, 60 million unique visitors a year. That's over 1 million a week in and out of Florida, in and out of Orlando, in and out of Orlando for Disney and Universal and all that other stuff. Huge, huge numbers. And we also have a large section of our economy that doesn't really get tallied into the numbers. Think of all of the waiters, waitresses, bartenders, barbacks, busboys, earning gratuities from Atlantic Beach, Daytona, West Palm, around Marco Island, Sanibel, Fort Myers, Tampa, all the way over to the Panhandle in Pensacola. Think of all of those service industry folks and all of that money changing hands that really doesn't get counted. But you see, when people earn money, they spend it. And they spend it, part of that goes into the kitty for tax revenue and drives the economy. Florida is very, very different as we don't rely on heavy industry like other places do. We don't rely on mining like they do up east or out west. The tourism, the people enjoying themselves. You see, that's the key. That's the key. And it's really weird to see this old episode from DS9 start to mimic something. And this had to have been the 90s, 97, 98. I'm just ballparking when this episode came out. And now here we are, a quarter century later almost. And what they were talking about here is coming to pass. I believe the name of the episode from Star Trek Deep Space Nine is He Who Is Without Sin. And it's kind of funny because Worf actually gets caught up with these people because, he's kind of the serious type. This was early stages of the internet before anything like a troll really existed, an internet troll. And that's really what this was. A group of people who saw something or heard something they didn't like and decided to go tear somebody else down for believing that. See, down here, and I'm not picking on anybody specifically here, down here in the comment section, this is not your platform. If you're on Google, if you're commenting, if you're somebody that takes part or watches the videos, your platform is your channel. Like, I'm just going to choose one here real quick. Like, see this person here, this Freedom IC, 1 subscriber, no content. See, this person could put up content. They could create their own videos and they could talk. See, this is their platform right here.
Reporting and false.
Sorry about that. This is my platform. That's what a lot of people don't get. That they think their comments are their platform, and it isn't. I don't go to other channels. I've never gone to other channels that I agreed with or disagreed with and went down to the comment section and tried to attack people or tried to push my view on people. I've never done that. Even before I was a channel operator, I didn't do that. If I had something to say, I said it. If you have something to say, I encourage you. Everybody has a phone these days that can take video and do video. It's not hard to set up a Google account and ask any troll. And you can speak. And you can use your platform and use your voice. It's going to take a while to get 126,000 subscribers. I'll be very honest with you, it takes a lot of work. You're not going to get that overnight. But, you know, it is what it is. And the reality is what the reality is. And there's one thing that I'll leave with, talking about yesterday's video specifically. Many of the people who are against the vaccine, that's fine, you're entitled to your opinion, have said, we can't take it. They haven't had enough chance to study it. They haven't had enough chance to run trials. It can't possibly be proven safe. Yet these same people say, haven't you done your research? It's clearly not safe. Really? Wait a minute. Hold on. How would I be able to do research if you're saying that research hasn't even been done one way or the other, but you can prove to me beyond the shadow of a doubt that it's unsafe, even though you've just said that no one has done enough research to prove it one way or the other? See, I live in the real world. I live in the real world where the VA has vaccinated over 1 million people. We have vaccinated over 1 million seniors in Florida. And we don't have bodies stacking up like cordwood or anything like that. Have there been some anecdotal stories leak out from around the globe of this one person here or this 1 or 2 people over there? Well, yeah. But put that up against the tens of millions that have had no problem. Most people have been vaccinated. Most people within the sound of my voice have been vaccinated against measles, mumps, rubella, smallpox, the flu. And we get up every day and we go about our business. And we're fine. They put all sorts of needles in my arm when I was in the military. I'm still here. That was 3 decades ago. Still here. You know, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation about the vaccine online. There really is. There's people stating things that are completely untrue as if they're fact. And we do, unfortunately, as responsible channel operators at this size, at this level, have to police that. Have to police that. And look, if you want to push that kind of stuff, go to your platform. Go to your platform, your Google platform, not mine, someone else's. and speak. Like this person, masks are a satanic ritual. It's obvious they haven't stopped this CV you speak of. Laura Bohr. Well, let's look at Laura Bohr here. Oh, look. No subscribers, no content, nothing. You see, this is classic troll. This is classic troll. This person or this entity or whatever could consider themselves reported and blocked at Google.
Reporting and
that's
false
how
reporting.
Sorry, every time I go back, it starts the video again. But anyway, 20 minutes. I will leave it there. But thank you, everyone, again. I very much appreciate your participation here. We are going to do our very best going forward to put out content that is relevant and real and not based in just conjecture. So, anyway, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.